Hello and welcome to this QNN Sports special interview. I'm Josh Brewer. The Quinnipiac women's basketball team made history by reaching the Sweet 16 for the first time in program history. And today we are fortunate enough to have with us Sarah Shewan from that women's basketball team. Sarah, thanks for joining us today.
No problem.
How are you doing?
I'm great.
So you guys just got back about a week and a half ago, and I know you said a lot of people have asked you this question, but Sweet 16, you guys made it that far. Has it sunk in yet?
I definitely want to say it has at this point. It was just a great experience going there and being with 15 of my best friends. And coming back, I think we all have moved past it and we want to go back and we want to win another game. We want to go to the Elite Eight. And I think that's where we are right now.
You were part of the team that made it to the NCAA tournament a couple years ago when you played Oklahoma in the first round. How was that experience different from the experience this year?
I think that this year we had a big focus on family. We went in there and we said, you know what, we're a family, we can do this together, and we had no doubts. We said, you know, we could lose this game just like we lost in the last one to Oklahoma, or we could win. And, you know, everyone kind of went in saying, you know what, we can win. And I think that the difference between that game and the Oklahoma game was we kind of went in thinking, you know, we're QU, we're a smaller school, and it'd be awesome if we won, but if we don't, you know, no big deal. And I think that's where the difference really lies.
What were some of the expectations going into this season?
I think we had the expectation to win our very first NCAA round one tournament, or game, sorry. And we did that. And then we said, you know what, why not win another one? And we did that too. We made it to the Sweet 16 and we were all baffled and amazed. And as you said before, has it sunken in yet? Yes, at this point it has. We want to go back, we want to do it again.
Now, before the NCAA tournament, you had to get through the MAC tournament. And you face off against Iona in the semifinals, and Iona had beaten you guys in the championship the year prior. What was the mentality going into that game, knowing that this team had knocked you out before?
I want to say that was our championship game. That was what we were waiting for. That's what we wanted. That's who we wanted. We wanted the team that ended our season last year, and we wanted them so bad. And that's what we did. We went out there, we had no regrets, and we said we need this game to finish our goal of winning the MAC and then winning our first NCAA round one game.
So after the selection show, you guys saw you're going to play Marquette in the first round. Initial reaction to that?
I think that everybody was really, really excited. Nobody had fear going into that game. Everyone said, you know, this is a great team. And I actually played with one of the girls on that team. But we went in saying, this is a great team, but we can beat them. This is a great team, but we can be a better team. You know, any team can lose on any given night. And, you know, I think the better team won that day. And that's just how basketball works.
So Natisha Heidman was the Big East Player of the Year, and during a media day she came out and she said that she had not heard anything about Quinnipiac whatsoever. What was your reaction to that? How did the team take that?
Well, after her interview, we had a meeting in the locker room, and our captains told us, they said, guess what this girl just said? And she said, and everyone was just so surprised. They're like, how can you say that on national television knowing that we're going to hear it, we're going to get fired up? And that's just what we did. We said, we are going to show her who we are. And we did, and we beat her. And she, I remember in the post-game interview, she said something like, wow, like they came out strong and they were the better team that night.
Was it a goal to just completely lock her down, take her out of the game completely?
I think we had a couple people on our radar. But that was definitely our number one goal, to shut her down, because we knew she was a great player, and she was a great player. She did put up a significant amount of points, and we really wanted to stop her shot, and I think we did, or Adelie Martucci actually did a great job of that.
You talked about this a little bit already, but when did you realize you could really not only compete with Marquette, but take a big lead? You guys were up 26-13 at the end of the first quarter, and I don't think that many people expected Quinnipiac, you know, a mid-major basketball school, to be up double digits on the Big East champs. So when was it that you realized, hey, we can compete, we can also just win this game?
I think before the game even started, we went in there saying we can compete and we can win. And as soon as the game started, we all thought in our heads, you know, we can compete and we can win. And our coach was preaching the now. That was what we were stressing upon the whole season. Do it now. Don't talk about it. It's time to do it now. And that's what we thought. The whole, all 3 games in the NCAA tournament, we said, you know what, no more talking, do it now, because this could be the end of our season. And we just kept playing and we kept winning, and it was great.
After Marquette, number 4 Miami, on Miami's home floor, all their students had just come back from spring break, so that place was loud. How did the team adjust to playing in that atmosphere?
I think that we have experienced loud arenas like that before. I know that when we played in Notre Dame my freshman year, that was insane. It was so loud. But we didn't go in with any fear. we knew that it was going to be loud. We watched Miami play Florida Gulf Coast, Florida Gulf
Yep.
Coast, and we knew that we could beat them after seeing how they played them. And we had beat Florida Gulf Coast, and we thought, if they played that hard, worked that hard, they wanted it so bad, we can get it.
You had defeated Florida Gulf Coast earlier in the season. Was there any hope that they might pull that one out? Maybe you could beat them a second time?
I think we were all kind of hoping that we could get, another chance to beat them. But at the same time, we saw the score of that game and we said, either team, we can compete against them and we can win.
Now, both teams sort of spoke to this, but part of what makes your team so special is that there's really not one go-to player. You have a ton of players who will score 10, 9, somewhere in that area points. Do you think that helps your team, knowing that you can have a bunch of people who can score? Or do you think that hurts your team, knowing that you don't have that one go-to scorer?
I think it definitely helps our team. There isn't an opportunity for a team to go in our scouting report or in their scouting report and say, you know what, I want to shut down this person today. And if we shut them down, then the other team will win. And I think that's what makes us really unique and really special, because if you shut one person down, we have a whole other line of 9 other players that are really, really great and that can show up on any given day, and that's what we are talking about since day one. We're a special team, and we can all play great basketball, and one day one of us might get 20 points, the other one might get 2, but it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's about a team and family, and unity.
You look at the game against Miami. You and Morgan Mans combined for 33 points off the bench. Morgan had her career high 22 in that game. Let's look ahead now to next season. You're losing Adelie Martucci, and you're losing Morgan Mans. 2 players, you're obviously going to bring in more recruits. What do you think the ceiling is going to be for this team next year?
Next year, I think that our goal is just going to be go back to the NCAA tournament, win those 2 first games, and then win a Sweet 16 game. That would just be so amazing for us and so amazing for the university. I know we're losing 2 of our great players and 2 of personally my best friends, but we don't want to go in there saying, oh, we lost 2 great players. We're going in there saying we want to be right back where we were before.
Now, before the interview, you told me you don't watch basketball, really?
I do. I watch it. I'm just not so into the NBA.
Not an NBA fan?
I watch college. Yeah.
Men's and women's, both sides?
Definitely.
South Carolina, the women, you guys lost to them,
Yeah.
but had you beaten them, I guess that means you would have won the national championship since they won it, right?
I don't know if it works like that, but it's great to lose to the national champions. We can go out and saying, oh, you know what, we lost by 50 points, but we lost the national champions. So.
All right, Sarah, thanks so much for coming in today. Really
No
appreciate
problem.
it. Once again, Quinnipiac women's basketball making history here in Hamden. For more on the Quinnipiac women's basketball team, you can visit QuinnipiacBobcats.com. For Sarah Shewan, I'm Josh Brewer. We'll see you next time.